be the educational, the dark eyes of Brainrot content. Like nobody knows what Brainrot is, and that it's bad for us. But let's milk it, bro. Brainrot is far worse than you think. Hey, no way. Wait, let's see.
Brainrot content is literally making the next generation look
Is
like
it too loud or is it good? Like,
out of idiocracy. Dumb, dopamine destroying, attention span numbing clips, GTA Subway Surfers clips with random Family Guy moments and flashy edits, all of this garbage is becoming a cancer on society. But what are the effects this content is having on Generation Alpha, who are currently being born and raised with this stuff in the most formative developing years? What will society look like in 20 years time when Generation Alpha grows up with this content leaving a foundational impact on their brains?
Cooked.
Well, in this video we're going to be going over the true damage Brainrot content is having on Generation Z and Generation Alpha. And so to begin, we need to understand its impact from the beginning.
on a man like me, it doesn't have any effect, bro. It doesn't have any effect.
Brainrot comes in different ways, but the common factor is that we are trading our normal real-life practices with what we find on the internet. We seem oblivious that we are replacing our basic life decisions with quick,
me and my
without
viewers, of
checking
course.
if it's from a sound source. Now, of course, not everything on the quick, easy solutions without checking if it's from a sound source.
Can I have the source, please? Can I have the source for that? Bro, that's fucking gay, first of all. Fucking source. Who the fuck needs source, bro? That's a fucking soy shit, man. Like in fucking fitness, like you don't, like in working out, you don't need the fucking science-based things when you're a beginner, bro. You just lift heavy metal and you eat fucking a lot. Eat protein, bro. You get buff, that's all. Monkey brain goes brr, you know. Like after a few years when you are advanced, then you need to tweak some science-based things like nutrition and bro, don't get me that fucking source. Actually, your source is old.
Now, of course,
your research is based on only 10 people, bro. Shut your fucking mouth, man.
Not everything on the internet is accurate, and based on each case, it could do more harm than good. And this is the start of Brainrot. It replaces essential needs. Before we know it, we're scrolling through whichever platform, taking in so much trivial information that ultimately is useless to us. But today in 2024, Brainrot has taken a whole new level, and the real victims of this are kids. As we all know, most parents today are tired from working. They come home late, tired and exhausted, and want to slump on the sofa. And yet if they have a crying toddler, the simple solution is to put on something entertaining for their toddler so that mom and dad can relax.
Hot take. Don't make kids if you don't have time for them, bro. Don't make kids if you don't have time for them. Easy. How about that? Expert says GVVs. What? What is that?
And so they'll put on a show like Cocomelon. Now, parents aren't necessarily trained to take a closer look.
Can say without I think I got it now. My brain is stupid. My brain is not working.
What they're watching. Parents just want to do the chores,
don't say it, okay? I'm not gonna
get the dishes done, and it's taken for granted that
But yeah, don't make kids if you don't have time for them, bro. The fuck? Hot take. Don't crucify me.
Cocomelon is safe. After all, they've got tens of millions of subscribers. Every other kid watches this stuff. And whilst we're not saying Cocomelon in and of itself is a terrible thing, it's the way it's designed and how it's the tip of a rabbit hole that really starts to do damage on children's minds. You see, the show, like many YouTube channels, is designed to keep your child's attention, which means there are constant picture changes every couple of seconds. But what is your toddler learning? Well, nothing but nursery rhymes and a YouTube addiction. But at such a young age...
Bro, this is not deep. It's not that deep, bro. Come on, man.
Picture change,
it's just a fucking cartoon for kids.
Constant zooms, crazy.
I get it. If a kid is like constantly on this shit and just look, yeah, but like, bro.
Voices is more than what a baby can usually process, so the brain has to do everything it can to deal with all of this stimulation. Instead of learning through touch, feel, experiences, and even through the reassuring sound of mum's voice, it's replaced with a screen showing bright colors and setting up the mind for the new normal. Overstimulation, and this is from the very beginning of their lives. This content is so addictive, and the beginning of a nasty rabbit hole that parents are completely oblivious to. And this overstimulation can't be overstated for little kids. There's already been a bunch of controversy with Mr. Beast himself, as this overstimulation has the same effect as street drugs for children. The brain is thrown into the deep water of what it is processing, and it's exhilarating and exciting, but to what end? And you see, this is just the start. As we all know, and as we've mentioned on this YouTube channel before, there is a new phenomenon known as the iPad kids, where the go-to for parents nowadays is to give their kid an iPad to keep them entertained, because now the child has been taught that this is how entertainment should be. Take it away from them and all hell breaks loose, because the brain is bored and has no sense of what normal life should actually be like. Lots of children are no longer able to be in real reality, present, and grounded in nature. They have to have overstimulation, constant color changes, flashing signals, and so it's almost a survival mechanism to have their iPad now. It's a full-on hardwired addiction to their brain.
They knew we were gonna watch this. They knew we were gonna watch this shit. They put this on purpose.
With a constant urgency to be entertained. Going outside, playing in parks, having picnics, and having social interactions are important parts of growing up and learning. They are the foundational years that set your moral code and your beliefs about the world and other humans. Getting your hands dirty in the mud and being exposed to germs and viruses that build up the immune system is all part of how your body learns to fight or manage environments. But now this is all starting to change, where kids need their stimulation from their iPad, the flashy games, the Subway Surfers, the Mr. Beast videos, to feel satisfied. And this is just numbing their mind, as the overstimulation takes its toll. You see, developing your imagination is vital to problem solving, and these tools are being replaced with entertainment that numbs this. But the problem only gets so much worse later down the line, as kids are being
dopamine bomb, yeah. Like a fucking, every swipe is like one. Like
deprived of more social interaction, community, being outside, reading books. It starts.
What? Reading books? Hell nah, bro. There is like gamblers on Instagram. There's like kids abusing steroids, man. Come on, bro. That's much more fun than reading books. The fuck you mean, bro?
Take a toll on their mental development. And one of the questions is, who are these people raising the next generation of society? Who are the moral teachers guiding our children to the future? Well, it's probably some of the worst people in society teaching your child how
the boo moments. Damn, bro, I just said
to think. You see, YouTube clips advertised as educational for kids have been exposed since ElsaGate. Now, ElsaGate is a name given to clips on YouTube that are presented as child-friendly but are very inappropriate for kids. It's an entire topic on its own. We've actually done a whole video on this, but the fact remains that while
this bro is just plugging his videos every second. I just made video this, I made video.
Allowing kids to use iPads.
When you see kid without phone inside, he's on his 10th gambling streak. He just lost his mom's fucking pension.
They are never ensured a safe environment and could be exposed to very unsavory behaviors through what they see as just a cartoon. And so as kids are being taught by these predators, these creeps, some of the worst people in society, while having their brain completely rewired, when they go into the education system, it's becoming a complete disaster. Teachers worldwide are battling to hold their students' attention, and they have taken to TikTok and other platforms to discuss this growing problem. Kids in 8th grade cannot spell a list of words. A simple task like
so you recognize a problem, which is TikTok, and you go on TikTok to ask for a solution. I don't think that's how it should work. Okay?
This is a sign of extreme ADHD, which is hardly the child's fault. The constant social media intake, bright colors.
Like, you're even worse than the kids then. You, as a grown adult, go to TikTok to ask for advice for the kids you are teaching.
And addiction to their iPad has not only begun their own brain rot, but set them up for failure. They have the belief that they know everything because they take in so much from the content they watch, but in more ways than we can imagine, using social media as their teacher. A teacher who, a few decades ago, would be shunned by society. And so the more these kids are supposedly learning from their iPad...
Of course, I base only my opinions on the things I see on Reels. I don't see a problem with it, bro. And I'm based.
Less they actually know. Already we're living in a world of constant distractions all around us, but can you imagine how dangerous this could be in situations like driving on the road and the collisions and accidents that result from this? Just recently, a truck driver in Tennessee working for a concrete mix company
What does this have to do with skibidi, bro? And Brainrot.
As the driver attempted to turn left out of a subdivision, distracted, he crashed into her head-on, resulting in around $69,000 in medical expenses, and the pre-trial offer was only $70,000.
This gotta be a sponsor, bro.
So what do you even do in these sorts of situations?
Morgan, I know it, bro. Hell no, bro. This doesn't have to do anything with skibidi. Get me out of here. I like you took Moon YouTube account for milking. Also, Aperture is good, but longer videos. Is Aperture a channel?
But then you may be thinking, how is
Okay,
it possible to learn
Google it
so
after
much
this.
and know so little? Well, it's a paradox in and of itself, but ultimately what they are learning has no use or effect on their lives, and if it does, it's to their detriment. Knowledge without application is pretty useless, as the focus is now being
Bro,
removed
thinks
from
he's Miyamoto Musashi. Vagabond.
what is important.
Knowledge without application is useless. Boo. Saying big things, he's smart.
And like life skills and shifted to internet fluff. And the result is we've now got 8-year-olds trying to fit into whatever TikTok trend is viral, with no substance to reality, made up by complete weirdos online. So what happens when Generation Alpha then become teenagers? They can not only focus long enough to spell a word, but can't change a tire or even cook. It's the here and now mentality that's breaking the boundaries of learning simple patience and discipline. If you want a movie, download it. Need food, order it. You feel bad? Look at your iPad. Everything is set up now for immediate results. But the real world and achieving your destiny isn't like that at all. You have to learn patience, discipline, and embrace the negative parts of life. Without that foundation...
Man, before we're fucking going to wars, dying in our 20s. And now I cannot eat without fucking YouTube, man. We are cooked. We are actually cooked. I want to cry when I don't have YouTube, bro, and eat my chicken nuggets, bro. And men in our 20s back then, bro, they were dying.
Your life will never have true meaning or substance. In our new world, though, reward is expected.
Nah, it's boring to live.
Not earned, as the brain is now being rewired to get the next dopamine fix to learn anything of value, rather than focusing on the path to getting
no Dino Nuggets, bro.
This is why playgrounds are emptying out. All hallmarks of imagination and play are being destructed. We are currently watching the youngest generation be desensitized and numbed. And this is really horrific, as it means their dopamine is so fried, they need to constantly up the level to achieve the same sense of fulfillment. And as we're starting to see, this is making content online weirder and weirder, and influencers are becoming more and more deranged, which is a terrifying fact when statistically 66% of Generation Alpha, literally kids, are using iPads and tablets on a regular basis. It's been a build-up of platforms and what they can offer from Facebook, Instagram, and now TikTok. As the platform has mainstreamed our addiction to scrolling reels, we can sit for hours on end, whether it be YouTube Shorts, Instagram Reels, TikTok clips, one reel to the next, and it's almost like we go on autopilot. Almost everybody is addicted to it in some way. It's impossible not to be. And when we do this, we're never really engaging in any kind of useful activity. And if you ask anyone what they just watched, there is so much intake of information.
It's like, wait, another hot take. It's like big multi-million corporations equals not good, bro. Equals bad, Maybe they want you to be there. Imagine, what if they really want you to be there? No, I don't think they would do that, bro. Multi-billion companies, bro. Nah, man. But it's only if it's only if, bro.
That we don't really take in. Most people couldn't tell you their favorite reel.
Nah, they wouldn't do that, bro. They wouldn't do that. Never.
TikTok presents short reels, so we don't think of it as time consuming. We deceive ourselves into thinking we will only spend a few minutes watching and scrolling. However, these reels are designed to keep you engaged and scrolling to the next one and the next one.
They want us to use less of their apps and go and focus on ourselves and go and work out and read some books. Not waste our time on their
Well, you know
apps.
It's 2 a.m. and your brain is so stimulated by what you just watched and the blue lights radiating from your screen that you can't switch off and go to sleep. Or you just fall asleep because watching reels is making you so exhausted. But on the other side of this pipeline are people making enormous profits from this. As more and more people
they make money out of it.
That if they can add a Subway Surfers clip to some random podcast, they can make bank from Brainrot clips. And if it's not garbage
it's like they're
Family
bad.
Guy clips mixed in with GTA racing, it's some evil challenge like the Blackout Challenge that literally took a few
What is Blackout Challenge?
lives. I mean, children are now getting tattoos done to keep up with the trends that are forgotten in just a week. And because everybody wants to jump in on this, everyone thinks this is the new way.
I'm not the one to tell them what they can tattoo or not. I have my email on my arm.
To get fame, clout, and money, and it's so easy to do that everybody will do anything to be at the front of people's attention for just 15 seconds. And there is no limit to what people will do to get this attention. Most of the time, completely compromising basic human standards and morals. Or even normal stuff like videoing themselves helping a homeless person, there's never a thought to how that homeless person might feel being filmed. It's always about the appearances and nothing of substance.
Of course we need to
Something
film
that's very new and
What do you mean? If you don't film, it didn't happen, bro. What? You did that? Nah, no way. You have proof? Source? Give me a source, please. Source.
2024 that we haven't seen for most of human history. But there does come a time in everyone's life when we have to finally go out in the real world, find jobs
we gotta
and start our
go
lives
out.
independently. This is what's happening to Generation Z.
What? It will touch grass?
Alpha. But this is where brainrot content gets really scary. As
really
you see, the more brainrot content you consume, the more handicapped you become to ever actually go out there and make it for yourself. Increasingly, Generation Z and Generation Alpha will have no idea.
We don't want to work, bro, because of skibidi. We don't want to work because of skibidi. Not because the real estate is so fucking crazy, we are never gonna afford it. The fucking inflation is going crazy. And the fucking billion-dollar companies are paying us in V-Bucks. They don't pay us shit these days, bro. Not because of that. It's because of skibidi, bro. I don't want to go to work because of skibidi. Crazy shit. Crazy shit, bro.
Idea how to
IKEA Roblox V-Bucks maxing.
Social and how to deal with jobs that expect them to work, as we are literally being rewired through these short clips.
I'm rewired.
Rewards aren't out.
Not because the economy is shit these days. Nah, bro, fuck that. It's because of skibidi toilet.
More people can't hold down a job because they shut down at the first hard task given to them. Problem solving is becoming rarer and rarer. Patience, discipline, and drive is being increasingly numbed. If a job doesn't suit people's ideas of what work should be, they quit and move on. And it's an endless cycle, going from one job to another, constantly chasing the dragon.
Yeah, because every job is shit. Every fucking space is too occupied. It's oversaturated, bro. They can replace you like nothing. Like nothing. You're just a number to them. Like, of course you're gonna switch jobs. The fuck you mean?
But never.
No, it's because of the Ohio Rizzler, bro. Ohio Rizzler is
being able to actually grow any roots anywhere. And as people's lives become increasingly alienated and lonely, Generation Z and Generation Alpha.
Really? On what? With
Alpha continually turn to the
on economy and shit.
Online world as a form of
today's like work.
Resorting to what they've grown up with on their phones, laptops, or iPads to scroll and find online solutions to earn money without ever actually.
I didn't know. I didn't watch it. Maybe I did.
Would be to start with a job.
No.
Yeah, absolutely. She needs a job.
This is me when people tell me YouTube is not actual job.
Thinking that splicing GTA clips with random cuts to the Joe Rogan podcast is actually a business.
Joe Rogan, daddy.
Besides the odd fluke.
Is this real? Pull it up, Jamie. Pull it up. Is this real? Can you fact check this? Fact check, please. Pull it up.
It's a complete pipe
That's all he does.
No actual basis in reality. As this becomes more pervasive, it leaves most young adults not equipped to ever build.
Pull it out. I'm proceeding to unzip my fucking pants.
A life for themselves, as people are placing their importance in a fake world that doesn't really exist of online entertainment and random short dopamine heads, failing to learn all the real life skills
no
and
gooning
standards
in this,
that come with the very attributes that are being killed off by these algorithms, feeding a continual loop of if you don't like it, you dump it and move on. You can say whatever you want and have no consequences. You can dress like you want and wear the best.
Yo, you cannot say whatever you want. Then say it. Come on, say it. Say the word, bro.
Fashion design clothing.
You
but
can't.
all of this is
come
eventually
on.
working against you, as there are real life consequences.
I understand what he means. I'm not stupid, but like, I'm just making fun.
Through spending so much time scrolling, people are physically changing through brain rot. People are
no free speech, bro.
Developing neck problems from constantly looking down at their phone screens. Other people's skulls are being dented by constantly wearing headphones in front of their laptops. Instead of getting exercise and sunlight, people are getting more fat, more depressed, and more sick. Psychologically, we are growing numb to the outside world, our dopamine fried, resulting in a lack of interest in doing something that might require patience or anything that opposes what the online brain rot content offers, further pushing us into the world of idiocracy. Even being an introvert is on the rise, not because we're introverted, humans are one of the most social creatures out there, but because we're now being pushed into staying at home and not going out. Statistically, only 20% of people are actually introverts. However, the trend of being an introvert through generation gaps is remarkable. 46% of Generation Z identify as introverts, a massive jump from only 19% of millennials. We're robbing ourselves of real life experiences and trade them in for
Bro, I'm not robbing myself from anything. Like on my phone, I see those things like in a few minutes span, like do. I see everything, bro. The whole world, bro. I see Dubai, Paris, bro. I see, I don't know, pyramids, fucking. And I go outside, I see fucking trees and grass, man. I play League of Legends. The fuck you mean?
moments
of course it's boring, bro. And I even bring my phone outside and I scroll outside.
But the worst and most real effect of brain rot is evident in relationships. You see, partners' interests begin to fade as they spend more time on their phones than in actual relationships. Relationships with parents are more strained as Generation Z and Gen Alpha are almost using another language with the slang that they use. Even when the kids try to explain what the slang means, it still leaves their parents confused and worried about the degradation of their child's communication abilities.
How do you explain your mom you're skibidi, bro? How do you explain your mother?
Slang like skibidi means nothing. It's just a term to say simply, originally coming from a YouTube series called Skibidi Toilet. Now, slang has always been a thing, but now we're literally seeing toddlers turning around to their parents and saying Sigma. Or instead of saying something's gross or bad, literal children are now saying Ohio. The foundation of their language is being built by these random words, becoming part of their normal social language. Now, slang is by far the telltale sign of each generation gap. But the difference is that for the most part, older slang could be explained better, whereas internet slang can't really be explained in full unless you have a basic knowledge of the internet, and in particular TikTok clips. Leaving the older generations frustrated that children are literally learning a completely demented form of English.
Because we were not that creative back then, you know, like we had some simple slang and shit. Now you have internet, you know, as he says, it's like more wide spectrum, you know. I can just relate with the guys in my like area, in my school and my city. But now you relate with everybody in the fucking world, you know.
But overall, it's really just a sign in the breakdown of actual social communications within children. Since everything is now digital, family photos are being replaced with selfies that are so filtered that it's hard to know what age you really are at the
This is a skill issue, bro.
time. We remove the wrinkles and the poses are so forced. Everyone's lusting after people that don't really exist on Instagram. In 20 years, the photos you show your children will not be authentic or real. The people you love, the people
if
you
somebody
want to be
falls
with,
for this shit, bro, like this is just goofy. Nobody falls for this except like old people that are going to pensions.
fake. Brain rot is something that should bother everybody. If this generation cannot form a sense of discipline now, and not know authentically what is real, how do we teach the next generation what we ourselves do not know? The ripple effect of that alone could be devastating. How many more childhoods have to be lost in the fog of watching endless reels before people realize the true damage of brain rot? Now, of course, there is a flip side to reels and social media. You can learn skills or how to fix something. There is value in seeing things from different points of view, and social media can be great to explore your creativity and artistic attributes. But there's a careful line between this and brain rot. Brain rot is more common than one thinks because there is no control.
Person like me, I personally would prefer brain rot maxing.
There is an underlying addiction that isn't being addressed, and like any addiction, it leads to bad consequences. If you go looking for a solution online, get the solution you want, don't get sucked into scrolling, or you watch a specific video that you were actually looking for, or even at the least just give yourself a time limit, it isn't that bad.
This is why you'll never retire, because there are not enough kids born to pay your rent when you go into pension. GG, we are paying for the pension for them now, for old people. Explained.
Can be a great thing. You can learn so
much.
Why there
need to be a whole fucking video?
Principles like discipline are more important than ever, as it keeps you focused on the real important things. The old ways of learning and living life worked well without the internet, and people were happier because of it. Once people start realizing this and the true dangers of brain rot, only then can we reverse some of the consequences happening.
Big consequences are coming soon, bro. Big things coming soon. Upcoming rapper, not me, but like.